Hi, my name is Tim Weimer, and I would like to welcome you to this video in which you will watch and learn how to play the drums. The purpose of this video is to teach beginning students the basics of drumming, including technique, stick control, rhythms, and drum set application. Once you have mastered this material, you should be prepared to begin private lessons or move on to more advanced learning materials. First, since a drummer is primarily a rhythm maker, you must understand how rhythms are counted and played. In order to play these rhythms, a drummer must also develop the necessary stick control and be able to make the hands do what the brain wants them to do. This video is divided into 4 parts and will give you the tools you need as a beginning drummer. In Part 1, you'll concentrate on proper technique for holding the sticks and playing. In Part 2, you will develop your hand-to-hand coordination by learning sticking exercises known as rudiments. During Part 3, you will learn about rhythms as you explore whole, half, quarter, eighth, and 16th notes. In Part 4, you will be able to apply your skills to the full drum set while you learn several standard rock beats, as well as how to incorporate a drum fill. Before you begin playing, it is important that you master 6 objectives. We will use the snare drum to demonstrate these 6 objectives. It's a good idea to take your drums to a local music store and have them checked out. The drums should be in good working order and be properly tuned. The head, or playing surface, should not be torn or damaged, and the lugs which connect the rim to the shell should be intact and properly tightened. Also, make sure the drum stands are in good working order and that they can be adjusted properly. If you have any questions about your drum set, your local music store can help. You should choose drumsticks that fit your hands. If you have small hands, purchase thinner sticks, such as 5A or 7A. If your hands are larger, you will probably find that thicker sticks, such as 5B or 2B, feel more comfortable. Most drumsticks are generally the same length, but some are heavier than others. Choosing a weight is largely preference. If you plan to play the drum set, you may wish to purchase sticks that have a nylon tip, as opposed to a wood tip. The nylon tip allows for a clearer sound on the cymbals. Learning to hold the drumsticks properly is crucial. If the sticks are not held correctly, your playing abilities will be limited. The sticks can be held several ways. I recommend that beginners learn what is called matched grip. Let's start with the right hand. Grasp the stick about 2 to 3 inches from the butt end. The stick should cross the palm of your hand and your fingers should curl around the stick. Don't grasp the stick tightly, but rather allow your fingers to gently support the stick. Now place the thumb comfortably to the side of the stick, about even with the first finger. It should look like this. Now let's try the left hand. The left hand holds the stick the exact same way. As you play, make sure you're keeping the top of your hands toward the ceiling like this. Notice that the sticks form a 90-degree angle. They should make an arrow which points in front of you. This will allow your wrists to move comfortably and properly while striking the drum. As a beginner, it is especially important that you constantly be aware of your technique so that you develop good habits early on. Some drummers, such as those in an orchestra or in a marching band, play while standing. While playing a drum set, drummers use a sitting position. Either way, the proper body position is similar. Here are a few key points. It is important that the drum be at about waist level, which ensures that you don't have to bend or reach to strike the drum. Also, allow your elbows to rest comfortably at your sides. Here's the proper sitting position. Once again, notice that the snare drum sits at about waist level. You should use your wrists rather than your arms to move the stick. This will allow you to increase your playing speed and will prevent you from needless energy exertion. Also, while playing, the stick should be almost parallel with the drum head like this. This will allow for greater stick control and help you to achieve a clearer sound. To get a good sound, it is important to strike the drum in the center of the head. If one stick strikes near the center of the head and the other strikes near the edge of the head, you will hear 2 different sounds. It may be helpful to draw a quarter-sized circle in the center of your drum head as a target zone. Also, to get a clear sound, make sure you are not keeping the stick against the head after the drum is struck, like this. This will cause the note to sound muddy. After the note is struck, the stick should immediately return to the lifted position, like this. Let's review the 6 objectives. Number 1, make sure your drum is in good working order. The head should not be torn or damaged, and the lug should be properly tightened. The stand should also be in good working order. Number 2, choose the proper drumsticks. The sticks should fit your hands. If you have small hands, choose thinner sticks. If you have large hands, choose thicker sticks. Number 3, learn to hold the sticks properly. Grasp the sticks about 2 inches from the butt end and allow your fingers to gently curl around the stick. Number 4, achieve a proper body position. The snare drum should sit at about waist level and your elbows should hang comfortably at your side. Number 5, learn to move the sticks properly. Use your wrists rather than your arms to move the drumsticks. Number 6, achieve a good sound. Strike the drum in the center of the head and allow the sticks to return to the lifted position after each note is struck. When you have mastered these 6 objectives, you are ready to continue into part 2 of this video, which will teach you how to develop stick control. As a beginning drum student, you are sure to discover several things. First, that your hands won't always do what you want them to do, and second, that you have a weaker hand, that is, a hand which is more difficult to control. Right-handed players can expect their left hand to be weaker, and left-handed players can expect their right hand to be weaker. Fortunately, these problems can be overcome. By practicing sticking exercises known as rudiments, you can develop control over both hands and teach them to do what your brain wants them to do. Altogether, there are 26 essential rudiments. This video will explore 3 of them. You should practice these rudiments on the snare drum or a drum pad, and I recommend that you practice them for at least 15 minutes every day. They work well as warm-up exercises, so try to spend the first 15 minutes of each practice session playing rudiments. The first rudiment we will learn is called the single paradiddle. At the bottom of the screen you see R's and L's, which represent the right and left hand. The single paradiddle is played right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. As you play the single paradiddle, it may be helpful to say paradiddle, paradiddle. Just remember that the diddle means right, right, or left, left. Now I'll play the single paradiddle several times so that you can get a feel for it. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Now we're going to add an accent mark to the first note of each single paradiddle. An accent mark makes a note louder, so now the first note of each paradiddle will be emphasized, which sounds like this. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Notice that I lift the stick higher prior to striking the accented note. By lifting the stick higher, it will create more volume. Now stop the video and take a few minutes to practice the single paradiddle. If you have any questions about how it is played or how it should sound, rewind the video and view this section once again. Achieving stick control is a product of repetition. Therefore, after mastering the basic sticking, you should try to play the single paradiddle and other rudiments continuously. As you get more comfortable, try to get a little bit faster each time. Here's what the single paradiddle sounds like a bit faster. The next rudiment you will learn is called the double paradiddle. The double paradiddle is similar to the single paradiddle, but has few more notes. The double paradiddle is played right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. As you play the double paradiddle, it may be helpful to say para, paradiddle, para, paradiddle. And once again, remember that the diddle means right, right, or left, left. Now listen as I play the basic sticking. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Just like the single paradiddle, the double paradiddle has an accent mark on each first note. Now listen to what it sounds like with the accent. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Here's how it sounds a bit faster. Now stop the video and take a few minutes to practice the double paradiddle. If you have trouble, rewind the video and view this section once again. The last rudiment you will learn is called the triple paradiddle. The triple paradiddle is created by adding notes onto the double paradiddle. It is played right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. As you play the triple paradiddle, it may be helpful to say para, para, paradiddle, para, para, paradiddle. Remember that the diddle means right, right, or left, left. Now listen as I play it. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Once again, we will add an accent mark to each beginning note, which sounds like this. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Here's what the triple paradiddle sounds like a bit faster. Now stop the video and take a few minutes to practice the triple paradiddle. If you have problems, rewind the video and view this section once again. Now let's take a moment to review what you have learned in Part 2. Number 1. Rudiments are sticking exercises which help drummers to improve their hand-to-hand coordination and stick control. Number 2. Rudiments should be practiced for at least 15 minutes every day. They work well as warm-ups, so you should begin each practice session by playing rudiments. Number 3. After mastering the basic sticking, you should try to play the rudiments at a faster tempo. Try to get a little bit faster each day. See how long you can play a rudiment without making a mistake. Number 4. An accented note is played louder than other notes. The single, double, and triple paradiddles have an accent on each first note. Number 5. The single paradiddle is played right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Number 6. The double paradiddle is played right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. Number 7. The triple paradiddle is played right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. As I mentioned in the introduction, a drummer must develop two main skills, hand-to-hand coordination and rhythmic understanding. In Part 2, you learn exercises to help you develop your hand-to-hand coordination. In Part 3, we will focus on rhythms, and you will learn to recognize, count, and play whole, half, quarter, eighth, and 16th notes, as well as several rhythmic combinations. But before we discuss these notes, you should first become familiar with a few basic musical terms and concepts. First, a measure is a subdivision within a line. Each measure begins and ends with a vertical line. Here we see 4 measures. This is the first measure. This is the second, third, and fourth. Next, a time signature is a number which tells you how many beats can fit into each measure. In a 4/4 measure, 4 beats can fit into each measure, which are counted 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Music can be written in other time signatures, but 4/4 is the most common. All of the music in this video uses 4/4 time. Now you are ready to learn about notes. The first type of note you will learn is called the whole note, and because it looks like an egg, it's easy to recognize. Each whole note takes up 4 beats, so only one of them can fit into each measure. When playing whole notes, you will strike the drum on beat 1, while beats 2, 3, and 4 will only be counted, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try it together. I'll count us off by saying 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next type of note you will learn is called a half note. The half note looks much like the whole note, except the half note has a stem attached to its side. Each half note takes up 2 beats, so 2 of them will fit into each measure. While playing half notes, the drum is struck on beats 1 and 3, while beats 2 and 4 are only counted, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try it together. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next type of note you will learn is called the quarter note. The quarter note looks much like the half note, but the quarter note is solid rather than hollow. Each quarter note takes up 1 beat, so 4 of them will fit into each measure. The drum will be struck on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try it together. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you play the notes you just learned, make sure of several things. First, make the beat flow steadily. It may be helpful to tap your toe as you count. Also, make sure you're alternating the sticks, using a right stick for one note and a left stick for the next. After you have mastered the whole, half, and quarter note, you're ready to try the following exercise, which uses all 3 notes. In the first measure, we will play a whole note. In the second measure, 2 half notes. In the third measure, 4 quarter notes. And in the fourth measure, 2 half notes. Now listen to how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. This time you play along. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try a slightly harder exercise which uses half and quarter notes within the same measure. In the first and third measures, the drum will be struck on beat 1, while beat 2 will only be counted. Beats 3 and 4 are quarter notes and will be played. The first and third measures sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now listen to all 4 measures played together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you play along. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next type of note you will learn is called the eighth note. Eighth notes look like quarter notes with one exception. Eighth notes are tied together by a single line at the top of their stems. Each eighth note gets 1/2 of a beat, so 8 of them can fit into each measure. They are counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and are played twice as fast as quarter notes. Here's what they sound like. 1, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's look at an exercise which uses quarter and eighth notes. In the first measure, there are 4 quarter notes, counted 1, 2, 3, 4. In the second measure, there are 8 eighth notes, counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now listen to how the exercise sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try it again. This time you play along. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The last type of note you will learn is called the 16th note. 16th notes get 1/4 of a beat each, so 16 of them can fit into each measure. They are tied together in groups of 4 by a double line at the top of their stems. 16th notes are played twice as fast as eighth notes and are counted 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. You may want to practice saying that a few times. Once again, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now we will look at an exercise which uses 8th and 16th notes. The first measure is made up of eighth notes and will be counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The second measure is made up of 16th notes. They will be counted 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, and will be played twice as fast. Now listen to the relationship between 8th and 16th notes as the exercise is played. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Let's try it again. This time you play along. I'll count us off. 1 and 2 and ready and play and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now we will look at an exercise which uses quarter, 8th, and 16th notes. Since the first measure is made up of quarter notes, it will be counted 1, 2, 3, 4. The second measure, made up of eighth notes, will be counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and will be played twice as fast as the first measure. The third measure, made up of 16th notes, will be counted 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and will be played twice as fast as the second measure. Now listen to how this exercise sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Now let's try it together. I'll count us off. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So far you have learned 5 types of notes and played exercises to get a feel for how rhythms are created and counted. The rhythms we learned are by no means the only rhythms that can be created from these notes. In fact, because the notes can be arranged differently in a measure and throughout several measures, the rhythmic possibilities are virtually limitless. Now we will explore a few rhythmic possibilities using quarter, eighth, and 16th notes. Let's create a rhythm by playing 8th and 16th notes. This measure will be counted 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and Now let's try it together. I'll count us off. 1 and 2 and ready and play and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and In this rhythm, 2 eighth notes will be played on beat 1. A quarter note will be played for beat 2. 4 sixteenths will be played for beat 3. And a quarter note will be played for beat 4. The rhythm will be counted 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. Here's how it sounds. 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. This time you play along. 1 and 2 and ready and play and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. 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 In this rhythm, we will play 4 16th notes on the first beat, 2 eighths on the second beat, 4 sixteenths on the third beat, and a quarter note on the fourth beat. This rhythm is counted 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. It sounds like this. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. This time you play along. I'll count us off. 1 and 2 and ready and play and 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 E and 4. Now let's use rhythmic examples 1 and 2 to create a 2-measure rhythm. The first measure is counted 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and The second measure is counted 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. Together, the 2 measures are counted 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. And they sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. This time you play along. 1 and 2 and ready and play and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E We will once again create a two-measure rhythm. This time we will use rhythmic examples 2 and 3 to create a two-measure rhythm. The first measure will be counted 1 and 2, 3E and 4. The second measure will be counted 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. Together the two measures are counted 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. It sounds like this. 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. This time you play along. 1 and 2 and ready and play and 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. 1 and 2, 3E and 4. 1E and 2 and 3E and 4. As you become more comfortable with playing and counting the notes you learned, get creative and try to come up with your own rhythms. Write them down on paper, think about how they are counted, and then practice them. Now let's review what you have learned in Part 3. Number 1. A whole note takes up 4 beats, so only one can fit into each measure. When playing whole notes, the drum is struck on beat 1, while beats 2, 3, and 4 are only counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 2. A half note takes up 2 beats, so 2 of them will fit into each measure. While playing half notes, the drum is struck on beats 1 and 3, while beats 2 and 4 are only counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 3. A quarter note takes up 1 beat, so 4 of them can fit into each measure. While playing quarter notes, the drum is struck on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 4. An eighth note gets 1/2 of a beat, so 8 of them can fit into each measure. They are counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and are played twice as fast as quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Number 5. A 16th note gets 1/4 of a beat, so 16 of them can fit into each measure. They are counted 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and are played twice as fast as eighth notes. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. So far during this video, we have explored rudiments and rhythms on the snare drum. If you have mastered these basics, then you are ready to begin applying your skills to the drum set. I would like to take a few moments to introduce you to the drum set instruments. You have already been introduced to the snare drum. When playing a drum set, the snare drum should continue to rest at about waist level and will sit between your knees. The bass drum is the biggest drum and it sits on the floor. It's played with the right foot by using a pedal. Some drummers prefer to lift their heel and flex the pedal with the front part of their foot. As a beginner, I would recommend that you keep your foot flat on the pedal, which will give you more control. The toms are several drums of various sizes. Usually 2 toms are mounted to the top of the bass drum, and another, called the floor tom, sits on the floor to the right of the snare drum. The smallest tom is called the high tom, and it has the highest pitch. The middle tom is larger than the high tom and produces a lower pitch. The floor tom is the largest of the toms and produces the lowest pitch. Drum sets may also vary in their number of toms, but most have 3. It is important that the toms be placed in the correct order, the smallest being on the left and the largest being on the right. Moving from left to right, the drum should produce lower pitches like this. Drum sets may also vary in their number of cymbals, but most have a hi-hat cymbal and a ride cymbal. The hi-hat is actually two cymbals put together. It is located to the left of the snare drum and is played with the right hand. By using a pedal, the hi-hat cymbals spread apart to create a different sound. As a beginner, I suggest that you keep the pedal down and the cymbals closed until you get the hang of basic beats. Then you can experiment with opening the hi-hats. The ride cymbal is much larger than the hi-hat and makes a different sound. It is also played with the right hand and is usually located to the right side of the drum set, near the floor tom. The ride cymbal can be substituted for the hi-hat to create a different sound. You may wish to experiment with playing the ride instead of the hi-hat as you practice. Crash cymbals are larger than the hi-hats, but smaller than the ride. They produce a heavier, louder sound. They come in many sizes, and the number of crash cymbals varies from set to set. Before we begin playing, I want to say a few words about how your drum should sound. You'll want to put a pillow or a blanket inside your bass drum so that it doesn't ring. Just take off the lugs, remove the rim and head, and put the pillow or blanket inside. Make sure it rests against the bass drum head, which will prevent it from ringing while you play. The bass drum should produce a deep, thud-like sound like this when it's muffled properly. Also, you may wish to buy muffling devices, such as dead ringers, to keep your toms from ringing. Your local music store should be able to get them for you. Let's take a look at how drum set music is written. Hi-hat notes are written with an X instead of a regular note head and appear just above the top line of the staff. Snare drum notes are still written on the second space from the top, and their stems are attached to the hi-hat notes. Bass drum notes are written on the bottom space, and their stems are attached to the hi-hat notes. Notes to be played on the high tom are written on the top space. Notes to be played on the middle tom are written on the middle line. And notes to be played on the floor tom are written on the second space from the bottom, just above the bass drum. Now we are ready to learn how to play the drum set. We will learn one instrument at a time in order to build a beat. The first beat you will learn is used in many rock and roll songs, and you are sure to recognize it. Let's look at the notation. Here we will be playing eighth notes on the hi-hat. They will be counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, with your right stick, play several measures of eighth notes on your hi-hat, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As you do this, make sure you're counting. Now we will add a snare drum. In this beat, the left stick will strike the snare drum on beats 2 and 4, along with the hi-hat, which sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's add the bass drum. It will be played with the right foot on beats 1 and 3, along with the hi-hat. Together, the bass drum and hi-hat sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's try the hi-hat, snare, and bass together. Remember, the snare plays on 2 and 4, and the bass plays on 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 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 As you practice this, you may realize that although you have a good understanding of the beat, you're having trouble playing it. Let me give you a few helpful tips. First, practice it slowly. If you try to go too fast, you will just get frustrated. It's much easier to speed it up later. Second, if you're having trouble with the bass drum part, it could be that you're not using good pedal technique. Remember to keep your foot high on the pedal and don't allow the pedal to be out of control between beats. Third, Make sure you're counting while you play. Now let's speed up the beat you just learned and play along with the band. We will play the first 4 measures solo, and then the rest of the band will join in. 1 and 2 and ready and play and... The next beat we will learn is slightly different. We will keep the same hi-hat and snare drum part, but we will spice up the bass drum part a bit more by adding an 8th note to the and of beat 3. Now the bass drum will play on beat 1, 3, and the and of 3. Together, the hi-hat and bass drum sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's add the snare drum to beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You should stop the video and practice this. When you are ready, we're going to speed it up and play along with the band. Once again, the first 4 measures will be played as a drum solo, then the rest of the band will join in. 1 and 2 and ready and play and. In this beat, we will once again keep the same hi-hat and snare drum part. This time, we will add an eighth note to the and of beat 1 on the bass drum, just like we did earlier on beat 3. So now, the bass drum will be playing 1 and, 3 and. Here's how the bass and hi-hat sounds together. 1 and 2 and, 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and, 3 and 4 and. Now let's add the snare drum to beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and, 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and, 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and, 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and, 3 and 4 and. Now take a moment to practice this beat. When you're ready, we're going to speed it up and play along with the band. The first 4 measures will be drums only. 1 and 2 and ready and play and. In this beat, we will keep the same hi-hat and snare part we've been playing. This time we will play the bass drum on beat 1, the and of beat 2, and beat 3. Here's how the bass and hi-hat sound together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's add the snare drum to beats 2 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now take a moment to practice this beat. When you are ready, we're going to speed it up and play along with the band. The first 4 measures will be drums only. 1 and 2 and ready and play and. Drum fills are used to add excitement to songs and to emphasize particular parts. Fills usually incorporate the toms and often use 16th notes. Let's take a look at a popular fill. The first 4 16th notes will be played on the snare drum and will be counted 1, E, and The next 4 16th notes will be played on the high tom and will be counted 2, E, and The next 4 will be played on the middle tom and counted 3, E, and the last 4 will be played on the floor tom and counted 4, E, and Altogether, the fill sounds like this. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Since you will be moving clockwise around the set as you play, keep the sticking right, left, right, left. This time as I play it, pay particular attention to the sticking. 1, E, and 2, E, and 3, E, and 4, E, and Now we're going to create what is known as a 4-bar phrase. To create a 4-bar phrase, we will play 3 measures of a beat, then play the drum fill as the 4th measure. Immediately after the fill, we will begin the beat again. Any of the beats you have learned will work. I will be playing beat number 2. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and Now we're going to create a 12-bar phrase by playing a beat for 11 measures and then playing the fill as the 12th measure. Playing a 12-bar phrase is easier when we play along with the band because the music helps us to know when to begin the drum fill. Just listen as I play a 12-bar phrase with the band. Notice how the fill fits into the song, sort of like a period at the end of a sentence. Then rewind the tape and play along with me. 1 and 2 and ready and play. This concludes the material in this video, and I hope you have enjoyed it. After you are comfortable with the material presented here, you should move on to more advanced materials or begin private lessons. We've enjoyed sharing this information with you, and I hope you have fun exploring the world of drumming.